Good afternoon. My name is Jim Conlan, and welcome back to the latest episode of our sports show. As you know, in part three of our sports show each week, we premiere global events that are taking place outside of Ireland that have international perspective and international interest as well. And up for discussion this week, we're talking boxing in part three of the show. We already spoke about Crawford and Spence before we came back before the break, and now we're going to switch now to a promising rising talent. He's undefeated, 19-0, dare I say, but he's up against probably his hardest challenge so far, a dangerous component who's renowned for being a knockout artist himself. Xavier Martinez, the opponent, 18 fights, 12 knockouts, victories to his name. The fighter we're speaking about at the moment, he's fighting for the WBC Silver Junior Lightweight belt on July the 28th in Pan Casino Resort, Las Vegas. He holds the unblemished record, 19-0, the undefeated Andres Cortes. And Andres, before we came on air, I spoke to you about sort of moving fight, and this is certainly a moving fight in terms of your career, in terms of you to propelling you into maybe the top 10 in terms of your division and propelling you to maybe big fights in the sort of future. Is really now 2023 the moving year in the terms of Andres Cortes before the sort of big fights come your way in 2024? Is now the time to sort of position yourself, move yourself into those sort of ranks before 2024 comes around the corner?
I feel like I've been on the hunt. I've been trying to get these bigger fights. A lot of these guys keep denying me, and I've been wanting, like, obviously the top of my division. If it was up to me, I'd be fighting for the world title now. I've been ready. I think I know I'm the best at 130, and on July 28th, I go in there and prove that.
And you say the big fights in your division that you want them, you're ready for a world title now. In
Yeah.
particular, is there anyone that you have your eyes on, or you think that in terms of that would be a good fit, it'd be a good style for you in terms of an entertaining fight? Is there anyone that sort of springs to mind when you mention that sort of world title fight?
I think I'm chasing the best, so I think the best in my division right now would be Emmanuel Navarrete. But if Valdez could beat him, either or, I'm willing to fight the winner of that fight. And I don't think I've been wanting those two names, but I think with a big victory here, getting a knockout this fight, I'll be next in line for a fight like that.
And do you think taking on this fight, do you think there's a certain risk attached to it, given his knockout percentage, given his ability to really take guys out? These aren't technical knockouts. These victories have been sort of knockout sort of victories as well. So he is a big heavy hitter in terms of that. Is that are you wary of his power? Have you respect for his power?
I think every man can hit pretty hard, and I'm sure you can agree with that. I think everybody hits hard. It's not, especially at the level I'm at. It's not. I think it's gonna be easy work.
Okay, okay. And in terms of the challenges that he sort of presents, do you think he's going to come on
Yeah.
you? Is he going to look for a brawl straight out, or do you think the opening rounds can be sort of a cagey, or do you think, no, I suppose not giving away your game plan, but do you think you have a sort of a sense of an idea of what to expect, or do you think maybe he could sort of mix it up and throw one or two elements into the surprise?
I think once I hit him, I think he's gonna come out with a good game plan. But I think once I hit him, that whole game plan is gonna go out the window.
Okay.
So that's my opinion.
Okay. And Andres, what has been preparation for this sort of fight like? Obviously, you're an up and coming rising sort of star. So have you upped the ante even again more for this camp in terms of sparring partners, in
Of
terms of getting people involved?
Of course, we're always adding more pieces. I did add Memo Herrera. I don't know if you're familiar with him. Um, you know, great great coach. Great strength coach, track coach. So I am adding more and more pieces to my team. And just trying to get better every day. Um, I'm 100% ready. I could fight tonight, tomorrow. Um, now they're just waiting for the fight to come.
Mm. And I suppose it's important really to give the sort of publicity to this sort of fight, and obviously, in terms of promoting, because it is a big fight for you in your career. It is a big fight in your division in terms of the shaking up, in terms of future world title fights in this sort of division. But obviously, has it been difficult with all the publicity seems to be going around Crawford and Spence that's happening on that sort of week, given the magnitude of that fight that it's probably the biggest fight in boxing since Tyson and Holyfield, and going back to the early 90s in terms of its significance, or maybe back to the time when we're talking about Mayweather Pacquiao in terms of this sort of significance. Has it been hard, apart from local, to gather or gain that sort of publicity on this fight, given everyone's talking about Earl and Bud?
No, I mean, me personally, I take it as like motivation because I see them getting ready for that day. Me knowing that I'm on the day before, so I'm kind of in a way getting ready with them, if that makes sense. So no,
Yeah.
it's a great feeling. I feel like I'm the show before the show. So I'm taking it all with positivity, and I'm just happy to be performing in my city.
Mm. And is that sort of great for you to be able to say, obviously, you're in your ranks in terms of being able to promote the sport of boxing, to be able to go out the Saturday night, have your own boxing fight, obviously achieve your own successes, and then maybe the day afterwards relax and become a boxing fan all over again?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm a boxing fan every day. I watch every fight. I don't miss any fight. So, I'm really excited for that fight, and I'm also excited for the UFC fights that weekend as well.
Okay. And in terms of sort of training, in terms of, you mentioned the camp, and you mentioned a new strength coach and physical coach. In terms of that, has it been really? So have you been trying to bulk up or sort of loosen sort of weight, or what has been emphasis on this camp to try and find the right balance
Um,
for you, Andres?
I just added
Mm.
more speed, and obviously more quickness, just more athleticism. Really, that's all I really focus on is more athleticism. It's not nothing that I'm really like training for getting. I just feel if you're a better athlete, you'll perform better. So I did I hired a track coach. So um that being said, I'm working on my leg work, just becoming a better athlete.
Mm. And in terms of fighting in Las Vegas and in fighting in Palm Casino sort of resort and the whole glitz and glamour that comes with Vegas, I suppose are you familiar with that sort of scene? Is it a bit of a distraction in one sense, or as a boxer, is it the lure? Obviously, everyone wants to fight in Vegas. Everyone wants to fight MGM and Mandalay Bay. Obviously, being so sort of close to it, fighting in Palm Casino, is there an element of where, yeah, this is where I belong, the glitz, the glamour to fight in these sort of places, or can it be a distraction in one sense itself?
I mean, I was born and raised here, and I'm
Mm.
literally on the strip right now. So, it doesn't,
Yeah.
it, it's really nothing new to me. Honestly, this is what I see every day. I've been driving past the Palms. The Palms is literally I could see it right now. So it's just motivation every day. And I fought in here most of my career, so I already know what to expect. I know what not to do, what to do. So yeah, like I said, no distractions. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, and obviously, we're not going to give out your game plan. You're not going to discuss your game plan.
Yeah.
But in terms of your main assets and your main sort of weapons, what do you think are your most dangerous elements in terms of the ring? What do you think that most boxers or fighters have to look out for Andres Cortes when Andres Cortes steps into the ring?
I mean, I'm always improving. That's the thing with me. I think I'm getting better as time goes on, and I think fight by fight, I will show that I'm definitely working on everything, and I think that's what makes me really dangerous because my opponents are not gonna know what to expect. I think right now, obviously off, my last fights, you think you're gonna get that same type of look, but I think every fight is a little bit different because I am a little bit faster and I am punching a little bit harder. So I think it's what you see on TV is not what you feel in the fight.
Yeah. And Andres, I got to ask you, I suppose here in Ireland and UK, big,
Yeah.
massive boxing history, big, massive boxing heritage, massive fights happen here in Dublin, in London, in the O2 Arena. When you do become a world champion, do you think you're going to be a traveling champion, that you're going to venture outside the United States? If there's a contender in England or the UK or Ireland that maybe wants to have a go at you or crack at your belt, are you willing to travel? Are you willing to maybe take the big fights in London in front of 60,000 in the O2 Arena, in Dublin, Ireland, in the Three Arena? Are you willing to be a traveling sort of champion, or do you think you're just going to situate yourself within the United States?
I mean, if the money's right,
Mm.
I'll do anything. Yeah, of course, I would love to go out there and fight. Um, that would be a big accomplishment to be able to win a belt or defend a belt in overseas. But like I said, if the money's right, I'm always willing to do whatever.
Okay. And in terms of obviously the main goals, obviously you have two guys in mind that you're sort of hunting down in terms of obtaining a belt. When do you see that would be a realistic possibility of maybe getting that fight? Do you think it's a possibility of getting it before the end of the year, or are we maybe looking at March, April next year in terms of a world title fight?
Um, Honestly, I think after this fight should be a big fight, like as far as a big name fight. Um, I don't have control of that, but if it was up to me, it would be, you know, they're like realistically speaking, I would love to do it three months after this fight. So, by the end of the year. But I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm confident that I'll get those fights. I just really got to make a statement and win this fight, which I know I'm gonna do. That's what I've been training for. Um, and yeah, I think it's all a matter of time.
And Andres, are you comfortable in this division in terms of making the weight? And is your goal when you come out a champion to unify the division, or in terms of the belts, or do you feel that maybe once you achieve your goal in terms of becoming a world champion at this division, that and after one or two successful defenses that you might go up another sort of level or go up a division again? Or do you feel happy at this weight? Do you feel happy at this division in terms of that? Is it maybe to maintain a sort of streak at this sort of division for a while, for a year or two, before maybe thinking of other things? You want to maybe rule the roost here at your weight division for a while?
I'm growing. I'm still young, so I think you know, time will tell, and I think eventually I'll move up, and I do want to be, multi division champ. So that is my goal, to be multi division champ. So once I do I would love to get all the belts at 130 before I did decide to move up. I think that would be what I would try to do, and then do the same at 135, the same at 140, 47, and that's the ultimate goal to really be uh you know multi division world champ.
Okay. And second last question for you, Andres Cortes. We have a famous Irish boxer living in Las Vegas at the moment, living in the Las Vegas Strip, a multiple world champion, the Pocket Rocket, Wayne McCullough. Have you ever come across Wayne during your time in sort of Vegas, and have your paths ever crossed?
I don't think so. I don't think so. I'm every time I'm in the gym, I'm usually really focused, so I don't even. There could be Tyson Fury, which is one of my favorite boxers. He could come in the gym and I wouldn't even recognize him just because I'm so focused on what I'm doing. But I'm sure I've seen him. I just haven't processed it.
Yeah. Okay, so we're turning over to you now, Andres Cortes, for the final 30 seconds. You might tune in, tell our Irish audience the night before Crawford and Spence why they should tune in to watch the pre-fight, another sort of champion make his mark in becoming the silverweight junior lightweight belt champion. Andres Cortes versus Xavier Martinez. Why should they tune in, Andres? Why should they watch the fight? And what's in store for them?
You guys are gonna be witnessing knockout of the year once you guys tune into my fight July 28th, and yeah, it's gonna be an amazing fight, and like I said, what an amazing finish.
Okay, and
Thank you
finally,
guys.
for the last question, one word: Crawford or Spence?
I got Crawford.
You got Crawford. Okay, Andres Cortes, on that note, best of luck. You're fighting July the 28th. Do check his fight out, Pan Casino Resort, Las Vegas. Live on many streaming services here, and Daz in Sky Sports here in Ireland and the UK. He's taking on the dangerous Xavier Martinez. Andres Cortes 19-0, Xavier Martinez 18-1, 12 KOs. Should be a blockbustering fight. Andres, best of luck. I forgot to mention your brother will be in your corner, Lewis, as well. A family sort of occasion. Super featherweight is the division. Check it out. But for the moment, Andres Cortes, from me, Jim Conlan, to you, stay safe, take care, and God bless, sir.
Thank you.